Welcome to week 1 and session 1 of my Know Thyself course with Coursera. Thanks very much for joining me. I look forward to learning with you this semester, throughout the course of this experience. So once again, my name is Mitch Green, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the way in which we'll run the course, the way in which it will be organized, and I will then talk a little bit about some of the main point, some of the topics, some of the material that we'll be going over. So the first idea is this, to keep in mind. You'll be watching, for every week, there will be 2 lectures, and that will be streamed online to your laptop or other computer. You'll be watching 2 lectures, and each lecture will be broken up into 5 or 6 different segments, each of which might be between 7 and 10 minutes long. So what it will suggest is that you watch a segment, take a break, perhaps do something that I've asked you to do, like, for example, reflect on a question, write a little essay, engage in a meditative moment, and then you'll open up your computer, sit down with your laptop, whatever it is, and watch the next segment all the way to the end for that lecture. That's the main kind of method by which you'll be engaging with the course material, but I also hope that, because we'll have discussion boards, we'll have lots of online presence, we'll hope that in the course of watching a single lecture or after you've watched an entire series of them, you will share with us your thoughts, your comments, your questions. Now, when you're watching one of the video lectures, you'll occasionally see a little in-video quiz pop up. It will have a couple of questions, and you'll be asked to answer those questions before you move on to the latter part of that lecture segment. And then the questions should not be terribly challenging. It'll just be by way of making sure that you're following the material, have a basic understanding of what's being said, and if you don't, you can go back to the beginning of the lecture, watch it again in order to make sure you understand the material. That's one thing. Also, throughout the course, we'll be, and generally speaking, at the end of each lecture series, or roughly hour-long series of segments, you'll be asked to answer a short essay question. That essay might be 350, 500, 750 words, in which you'll be engaging with some of the material that we've discussed. You'll be expressing your view, also trying to justify and explain it and clarify it as best you can. So that'll be part of your work for the course. Every week thereabouts, you'll be having a short essay that I'll be asking you to write. So the idea is going to be, the most important part is that I want you to be actively engaged with this course. Even though there are many thousands of you spread throughout the world in getting involved in the Know Thyself course, we want your active engagement as much as possible. That will be taking the quizzes in the middle of the video. That will be writing the essays. That will be responding to other people's work. And if at all possible, also getting involved in the discussion board that will be associated with this class, raising questions, making comments, sharing your observations. I might not myself always be able to respond to everything you write because there are many students in the class, but my hope is that either I or one of my teaching assistants will be able to do just that. A few other things. In a moment, we'll be moving on to our first experience with a meditative moment, something that I hope you'll cultivate throughout this class, in which you'll be engaging in a brief meditative activity. So that'll be one important part of our participation in the course. Again, I want to emphasize we want as much as possible for you to get involved, share your observations. We'll also be thinking about ways of breaking up all the students into various subgroups, either by nationality, by area of interest, or perhaps creating certain villages of people. Even if they're spread around the world, we might create a village in which you've got people of lots of different types that all form a group of, say, 150 or 200 that will communicate with each other, even though there's a lot of diversity within that group. That could be an exciting and satisfying way to go as well. So I want you to think about the way in which you'll be engaging with the course, what you might be looking for to get out of it, and how to do your best work as a student in this course. And again, this course is going to be about the nature of the self, the nature of self-knowledge, why it's important, what exactly it is, what its limitations are, and as I say, why it's important, why, if anybody, we should care about the nature of knowledge of the self, why it's something that we should strive for, if in fact it is something that we should strive for. See you in a moment.